Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So this is the 2024 Senate map. Republicans basically have a foolproof map to retake the Senate. If they are not able to, that would just be absolutely beyond me. Even they are unlikely to mess this up because you have Montana and Ohio up for grabs, up for the taking. You have two senators who vote like they are senator of California, senator of Oregon, senator of New York, senator of Massachusetts, or senator of Maryland, instead of senator of Montana and senator of Ohio. And these are both states that Donald Trump is likely going to win by double digits this time around. And Donald Trump has those coattails when he gets those people out to vote who usually do not turn out to vote. He carries the Republicans down ballot with them. In some cases, they may outperform Donald Trump because all of the Trump base will vote for them, and then they might be able to peel off some of those, squishy, more center-leaning, center-left voters or center-right voters that happen to fall into those, never Trump Republican camp. So Donald Trump should be in a very good position in both of those states, and they should be in a good position in terms of the Republicans as a whole to retake the Senate. They will likely end up with 52 Senate seats or more. But we got even more good news about the Senate. We really did. And this kind of goes to show that 52, that might be the floor now. And a lot can happen, but I think we need to follow the money. Because you're looking at this here. Republicans are ambitiously trying to take Montana's Senate seat. They are ambitiously trying to take Ohio. And what they are doing is they've now reserved $50 million in ad buys for Republicans in Montana to topple Jon Tester. That is absolutely huge because they need to do that in order to retake the Senate. And Montana is going to be a state that will go heavily in Donald Trump's column. He will probably win it by 15 points at a minimum. It's possible that he wins it by close to 20 points or more. And even though it has split tickets in the past, this is a presidential year, and neither Jon Tester nor Sherrod Brown have withstood a serious challenge when Donald Trump has been on the ballot. So you're looking at the big picture here. They're spending a lot of money in Montana. They're serious this time about retaking the Senate. They're not going to store all of their money in safe red seats. They're not going to throw all their money at seats that they can't win. They're not going to throw all their money to save a rhino up in Alaska so she doesn't lose to an actual conservative Republican. No, they're actually playing to win this time around, which is absolutely huge. And you look at that there. That's Montana. Ohio is another Senate race that matters a lot, but let's fill this map out. Montana gets them the Senate automatically, but there's also better news out of the state of Ohio because Republicans have a clear frontrunner now. Bernie Moreno is starting to pull away, and in some other polls that are not listed here, he's doing much better than 22%. He's getting close to a majority of the Republicans on his side, and he also picked up the Donald Trump endorsement as well, which is absolutely huge. He's getting the whole party apparatus for the most part to kind of coalesce behind him, which means that he's going to go out there and win the primary by more than originally expected to, which is absolutely huge because you need to do that. You need to do that so you can have a statement victory in the primary, unite the party behind you sooner. We didn't see that a whole lot in a lot of these late primaries in 2022, but if Moreno does this early, because the primary is going to be taking place in March, it's not going to be taking place in August, he's going to have a full, 6 months or so on that campaign trail leading up to the general election. And as a result, he's going to give them the best shot. He is somebody that can relate to those Trump voters. So you don't exactly have as many ticket splitters in the process in a lot of these places in the state of Ohio. That is an absolute victory for Republicans. If they're able to coalesce behind him, his chances of victory go up even more so than they already are. If they're going to be funding him, which they have committed to. They haven't committed to pouring in $50 million worth of ad buys just yet. They're probably going to wait until after the primary to do that. But Ohio, you can chalk that one up as a red state. In fact, Montana probably will be lean, if not even likely. And Ohio, I think putting that as tilt to lean is more fair. So there's more good news on the way. But first, I have to tell you guys about our newest sponsor over at Black Forest Supplements. We are witnessing an unprecedented shift in the dynamics of power in our nation. Our three-letter agencies were once beacons of protection and order, but now appear to be instruments of a different agenda. The shift has become glaringly evident in the treatment of former President Donald Trump and his supporters. Consider the alarming militarization of agencies like the IRS, which now boast an arsenal of 4,500 guns and over 5 million rounds of ammunition. The Department of Veterans Affairs, whose primary role is to support our veterans, but has amassed 11 million rounds. Even the U.S. Postal Service has its tactical team. The number of armed non-DoD federal employees, including those in agencies like the IRS, has reached 200,000, surpassing the Marine Corps' 186,000. This buildup raises critical questions, especially in light of the relentless investigations and surveillance tactics employed against President Trump. From the FBI's involvement in the Russian investigation to the impeachment trials, it's clear that our federal agencies have been weaponized against our president and the American people. If your government does not use deadly force on people raiding into your country and don't defend their borders, but they'll use it to collect your taxes, to enforce unconstitutional laws, and to stop the most popular candidate from running for president, then traitors have taken over your country and taken control of your government and is now tyranny. Now let me tell you about turkesterone. This isn't just any supplement, it's a game changer. A recent study showed that turkesterone increases testosterone performance, energy, and recovery just as much as actual steroids like Deca. This thing has been dubbed nature's steroid, but without the nasty side effects since it's non-hormonal. It's like finding the fountain of youth in a little bottle, but the FDA, they're trying to keep it away from us. Why? Because a healthy, strong population is harder to control. The FDA, alongside WADA, are attempting to add turkesterone supplements to WADA's prohibited list, which would allow pharmaceutical companies to control it through prescriptions. This move is not based on the efficacy or safety of turkesterone, but is aimed at cornering the market and taking the supplement away from you, and having you pay $20,000 to $30,000 in prescriptions that you can't pay without insurance. Now you can't go homestead and off the grid because you need your job's insurance to stay healthy, keeping you a slave to the system. In these trying times, we must stay vigilant and informed. We must take control of our health, as it's one of those few freedoms we can still manage. Arm yourself with knowledge, stock up on turkesterone, and stand against the tide of control and manipulation. We're in this together, and together we'll rise above. I don't promote many people, but I genuinely respect these guys. They're fighters, standing up for what's right. I asked them if they could offer a special deal for tonight, especially since we're diving deep into these topics, and they agreed to an amazing buy two, get one free 48-hour deal. This stuff isn't cheap, so it's a great opportunity to stock up. I wanted my followers to have a chance to get their hands on turkesterone before any potential restrictions come into play. Black Forest Supplements is right for this. They want to ensure that people have access to turkesterone, but who knows? There might be a day when agents are at their door trying to stop them from selling this life-changing supplement. So I urge you to check out the link below and grab some for yourself. All right, guys, welcome back to the video. So you also have to look at how Democrats are acting, because they know that they're playing defense. After this ad buy was placed, they put up a more measly ad buy for an incumbent senator, but they could only put up $27 million. They're losing the money fight in Montana, but they're also very, very worried. They are very, very afraid about Nevada. Republicans probably would have taken the Senate seat last time around, the one that Adam Laxalt ran for, the Catherine Cortez Masto seat. They probably would have won that if they put enough resources into it. They were outspent like 4-1, and even then it took a late-minute snowstorm for Republicans to go out there and lose that race. But Jackie Rosen, she honestly is probably lesser known than Cortez Masto, who had name ID problems in the state of Nevada. And Republicans seem to be coalescing behind Sam Brown, and it seems like he's going to be their candidate, so they're probably going to avoid a long, drawn-out primary there as well. But what this shows is that they are going out there and they are throwing a ridiculous amount of money in a seat that not a lot of people really say is going to be an automatic flip, or it's one of these places. And I'm not saying that Republicans are guaranteed to take Nevada. I think that if Trump wins the state, it's very possible that the Senate seat is going to be on a knife's edge once again. It could go either way. It could be decided within a few thousand votes either way. Nevada, even though it's been moving right, is not exactly like this really solid Republican state, but overall, you're looking at that. You're looking at Nevada. And the fact that Democrats are pouring a ridiculous amount of money in Nevada tells me they're scared. And I'm not for sure going to say that it's like an insta flip on the map or anything, but this is going to be a competitive state. We kind of went from talking about Montana and Ohio being the competitive states, which they still are, but Democrats are playing defense in Nevada. They're going to be playing defense in Michigan. You look at all those polls with Donald Trump up by 8 in Michigan. Folks, Stabenow's retiring. That's going to be an open seat. If Donald Trump wins the state by like 2 points, I'm not even saying that's guaranteed, but if it happens, yeah, I think James Craig, if he's the nominee, can defeat Alyssa Slotkin, who is probably going to be the nominee for the Democrats. Or if they have Harper, who's like one of these far left individuals, if he becomes the nominee, I think Republicans are going to have a very, very good shot at flipping that Senate seat there. So there's a lot of paths to an expanded majority, a rhino-proof majority. You also have Mitt Romney retiring in Utah. You have the Republican Party of Nebraska supporting an actual conservative, an actual like non-run-of-the-mill Republican in that Senate race above the incumbent institution known as Pete Ricketts. I don't know if that's exactly going to pan out. I don't know if that's exactly going to be like an instant primary victory, but either way, I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to go in these deep red states. That's kind of where you get your more solid conservative America First candidates, because they can thrive electorally in that environment, and they can shift the Overton window of the party and of the Senate where it needs to be. There's a lot of focus on these swing states, and I think that we need to focus on them too. But in terms of like the primaries and getting the weak rhinos out, there should be no excuse for a Mitt Romney or run-of-the-mill pushover conservative in a state that votes Republican by more than like 5 percentage points, and that we know. So it's good that Republicans are kind of waking up to that fact. But also you talk about other races like Texas. It does seem like the border crisis is going to hurt Democrats there. They're going to throw a ridiculous amount of money trying to take out Ted Cruz because he's got name ID. It's probably not going to work whatsoever. Texas is going to stay red at the presidential level. Ted Cruz is going to get reelected fairly easily. So you look at this, it's looking good for Republicans in terms of their chances at holding the Senate. But we'll have to see what the final margin ends up being. We've got a long way to go, but I'd say that they're probably a 95% lock to retake the Senate. Let's see if they'll fumble that away too. But judging from the map and judging from the fact that Trump is going to be on the ballot, I think it's unlikely the Democrats are going to take the Senate again. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.